Welcome to Cinemonika. There are millions of movies in the world and only 12 zodiac signs. I did some research and I chose one movie that I think is perfect for each zodiac sign. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you the movie first. Let's see if you can try to guess what sign I'm talking about before I tell you in a second. Okay, so for this first sign, what could it be? I chose the movie Real Women Have Curves. I love this movie and I will never stop talking about this movie. It's about an 18-year-old girl who wants to go to college, but her mother wants very different things for her: to have a family, but most importantly, to look over the family business. The sign that I assigned for this movie is very ambitious. They're very passionate, they're very motivated, and they're really good leaders. They can also have a temper and some outbursts here and there, which reminded me a lot of the main character of this movie. She is someone who definitely wants to get what she wants. She doesn't want anybody to interfere with her dreams, but of course she has this rocky relationship with her mother. This sign can be selfish, but when it comes to their dreams, are they really being selfish? That's the dilemma they have in their head, and that's the dilemma that our main character has in this movie. Did you guess the sign? The sign I'm talking about is Aries. Real Women Have Curves would be just perfect for Aries. Okay, moving on to the next sign. For this one, I chose the movie Train to Busan. If you've been watching Squid Game and you have not yet seen Train to Busan, please do that right now. Well, actually, do it after this video, but do it. If you want to see more of the train guy, well, this is the movie for you. He's literally on a train. Train to Busan is about a zombie invasion in South Korea. The main characters get on this train from Seoul to Busan to try to survive, but of course, the train gets infested by zombies. It's very exciting. This sign might be a little tricky to guess, but let's see if you guys can do it. This sign is very self-protective. They always have their walls up at first before they get to know you. They really care a lot about their loved ones, even more than they care about themselves. They also have a lot of emotional depth. All of these qualities really reminded me of the main character in Train to Busan. He wants to do everything in his power to take care of his daughter. He is faced with, a zombie outbreak, but he always tries to keep his cool in order to not freak out his daughter, in order to think thoroughly about everything that he's doing to save her. This sign always tries to make their friends and their loved ones feel good about themselves. The sign that I'm talking about is Cancer. Was that hard to guess? I feel like it was hard to guess. For the next sign, I chose the movie The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. This is a teen romantic comedy, and we all know not all of them are a hit, but this one was actually very, very sweet. It's about two teenagers that are living in the same day every single day. The two main characters are just doing all of these things every single day because obviously if you're living in the same day, you would want to try out different things, which is perfect for this sign because they are interested in doing just many different things, wearing many different hats. This sign is also a social butterfly. They can basically talk to anyone about anything. They're very quick-witted. Basically, hablan por los codos. I think this movie will really keep their interest because when you have a story that is set on the same day, you have to keep it interesting. You have to keep changing things. The sign I'm talking about is Gemini. One of the main characters, the boy, really reminded me of a Gemini's personality as well, so I think that they will really like this one. For the next sign, the movie I'm talking about is Shiva Baby, one of my favorites from this year. It's about a college girl who is from a Jewish family and she goes to this Jewish funeral service. At the service, there's all of these people that she knows, all of her family, her parents, but things get awkward when she runs into her sugar daddy. Okay, so this sign can be very calculated. They just have a poker face and this sort of enigmatic vibe to them. You can't really get to know them that easily. They get uncomfortable when you ask them a lot of questions. They never really overtalk or overshare. They just want you to know exactly what they plan in their heads to tell you. Why say a lot of words when few words do trick? This movie is like a perfect riddle. When you watch it, you don't really know what's gonna happen. There's this music that's giving you anxiety, and it's just chaos. And I feel like this sign would really enjoy just watching all of this chaos unfold. Although this movie can seem like a thriller, it is also really funny. The comedy is just on point. So I think this sign would really enjoy how smart this movie is. The sign that I'm talking about is Scorpio. Yes, I gave my sign one of my favorite movies of this year. Okay, let's move on to the next sign. For this one, I chose the movie The Love Witch. This one is about a beautiful witch who uses spells to get men to fall in love with her. Now, I know this movie looks kinda old, but it's actually from 2016. And I think that's why this sign would really love this film. It's got the perfect hashtag aesthetics. It's a tribute to 1960s horror movies and Technicolor films, so I think this sign would really appreciate that. They are also very sensual, just like our main character in this movie. She's very determined to get what she wants, and like I said, she just wants to be treated right, much like this sign. The sign I am talking about is Taurus. Taurus will really like this movie, and especially the way that it looks. It's just gorgeous. For the next sign, I chose the movie Moonlight. Moonlight is just a masterpiece of a movie. It's about a young man who's dealing with his identity, his sexuality. It's divided into three parts: his childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. This sign is one of the most intellectual signs. They are also very artistic. They appreciate art, which is why I feel like they would really like this movie. It's a little bit more of an artsy movie. This sign is also always looking for someone who complements them, their perfect half. They can be people pleasers, they can be indecisive, they are pretty much afraid of loneliness. All of these qualities remind me of the main character in Moonlight. He is really struggling to find who he really is and how to come to terms and accept that, especially when people around him aren't as accepting. The sign is Libra. Like I said, it's a beautiful movie, and I feel like Libras would find it beautiful too. For the next sign, I chose the movie Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion. This movie is in the same vein as Legally Blonde and Clueless, but I feel like this one really gets left behind a lot. It's about two 28-year-old best friends who attend their high school 10-year reunion. They realize that their lives are not really that interesting, so they try to, tell a little lie here and there in order to seem cooler to their classmates. Very much like this sign, the two main characters have really big personalities. They love being praised, and they just really stand out from the rest. This sign is also very creative and artistic. They are really friendly, and they just portray this confidence about them. Even when they're really not that confident on the inside, they don't let that show on the outside. Also, I really love their fashion choices in this movie, and I think that this sign can really appreciate that. The sign that I'm talking about is Leo. Leo is just the exact definition of this movie, I feel like. For the next sign, the movie I'm talking about is Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer is directed by Bong Joon-ho, who directed Parasite. In this movie, the entire world is frozen except for this train that is traveling indefinitely, and the people inside are the only survivors. The train in question is extremely long, with its social divides and classes and politics and hierarchy. Basically, it's like a whole country just inside of a train. This sign is super focused on their goals. They've really had to mature from a young age. They seem like old souls. They're very disciplined, they're rule followers. They don't really like to depend on others. They just basically believe that they can do everything themselves. The sign might seem too serious, but they can open up as you get to know them, and that just really reminded me of the main character in Snowpiercer. This sign is Capricorn. This movie is epic, and I think they would really like it because the main character, he's very focused on his goal, and it's just a really fun movie. For the next sign, I'm talking about the movie Kajillionaire. It's about a woman who is a daughter of criminals, and therefore she is also a criminal. Her parents are planning this epic heist, but she might not be one to be part of it. This sign, they can be a little bit eccentric. They have kind of like weird hobbies, a unique fashion style. They can be considered outcasts, quirky is the word. So I feel like this sign can really appreciate the style of this movie. Although this movie can be kind of strange at first and a little bit too quirky, it does get emotional, which is why I think this sign can really appreciate it. The sign I'm talking about is Aquarius. Mwah. For the next sign, the movie I'm talking about is House Moving Castle. House Moving Castle is a Studio Ghibli movie about a young woman who is cursed, and she now has to live in the body of an old woman. She bumps into this handsome wizard who takes her to live with him on his moving castle, where she cleans his entire mess. This sign is very adventurous. They are great storytellers. They have a lot of friends, and they just really enjoy life. This movie is just a great adventure full of magic and really unique characters, and it's just a really fun story that I think this sign can really appreciate. And since this sign really loves adventures and traveling and seeing the world, this is the perfect movie for this sign. The sign in question is Sagittarius. It's just perfect for them. For the next sign, the movie I'm talking about is Stranger Than Fiction. Yes, this is the Will Ferrell movie, even though I've previously said I don't enjoy Will Ferrell. I don't enjoy him. But you know, this is the exception. I like this movie. It's about an IRS worker who suddenly starts hearing this narration in his life, narration that starts to dictate his every move and how it affects his daily life. This sign is very practical, very logical. They're very good at problem solving. They don't really know how to express their feelings very well. They're also very critical of themselves. And all of these are qualities that our main character, played by Will Ferrell, has in Stranger Than Fiction. He has to learn how to open up to possibilities, to doing what he wants in life, to spending time with people that he cares about. And I think that this sign, maybe they sometimes can feel like a herald in this movie. This can maybe give them a little bit of a different outlook. The sign that I'm talking about is Virgo. Stranger Than Fiction also has a bit of a mystery going on because who is this voice? What is happening? So I think Virgos would really like to figure that out. For the next sign, the movie I'm talking about is The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. This is one of my favorite anime movies. It's a comedy that takes place all in one night about this girl who just has the most surreal and unexpected night. She encounters a lot of interesting people and she tries a lot of new things. But ultimately, what I love about this movie is how unique it is in the animation style, in the editing, in the music. Everything about this movie is just so unique. This sign, they are very artistic, they're very creative, they are just dreamers. They live in their head a lot because they're always daydreaming. They can be very sensitive and they like to make emotional connections with people. They also can get overwhelmed with their emotions because they just feel a lot. This movie just resembles a dream, a weird dream. The sign that I'm talking about is Pisces. Like I said, this movie is just so unique and I feel like Pisces has a really unique view of the world. So I think they would really appreciate this movie. Alright, let me know if you like the movie that I chose for your sign, if you were able to guess right, and if you didn't like it, let me know, but please be nice about it. By the way, my boyfriend Nacho just released his very first YouTube video and it's honestly an incredible video. It's super fun, super entertaining, and really inspiring as well. Especially if you're trying to start your own YouTube channel or anything really, any project, you're gonna find it really inspiring. So I'm gonna leave the link down below in the description and I would really appreciate it if you guys can check it out. Alright, thank you so much in advance if you do. I love making videos like this, so I'll make a new one once a month so you guys can have new recommendations. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Also, I really hope you liked my new intro. I'm very happy and excited about it. Let me know if you liked it. Alright, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.